All things are possible. You can be or do or have anything that you want. The age factor is not a factor, except that humans think it is. But a human who doesn't think that the age is a factor, it would not be easy to be a human that doesn't factor in what almost every other human factors in, but you could do it. So we want to say, if any desire is strong enough, and by that we mean dominant enough, by that we mean not contradicted by beliefs that are constantly pounding away at it, then any desire can come about. It just does not matter. This is how it goes. So you have this desire, but you have beliefs that mute the desire. You have a desire, but you have beliefs, because your beliefs are based upon what is happening, where your desire is based upon what you want and what's in your vortex. And so your beliefs are the things that mute your desires. And so most humans don't have really pure desires. You've got desires that are muted because a belief is just a thought you continue to think, and a desire is a thought that you think too. So if you're giving some airtime, so to speak, to your desires, that's wonderful. But if you're giving equal or more airtime to a belief that is in contradiction to the desire, then the mix of your vibrations is the way your life plays out. And there are people who have been with us for quite a long time that still have that experience of realizing, as things play out from time to time, that they've got more hindering beliefs than they realized that they had, because a lot of people are not really owning up to how they really feel about things. They've learned to say words that sound positive, and then they fool themselves by believing that what they're saying is what they're offering vibrationally, until life plays out and shows them something different. Most people learn limitation from their parents and from those who are around them, because most people learn their vibration from what they're observing, and most people are not even coming close to living their dreams. That's why the handful of those that have that kind of success is a handful of those who have that kind of success. You see, here's the thing about desires, and we might as well be the ones to break the news to you. Your desires never stop being your desires. You can resist them by not letting them flow. You can get weary of trying for something that you can't move on, but we want you to know that the only reason anybody's not moving in the direction of their desire is because that's not the direction they're looking. Most people are so busy telling the story of what was, or even the story of what is, that they hold themselves in a vibrational frequency that doesn't let them have the satisfaction of moving in the direction of their desire. Satisfaction doesn't come only when you move in the direction of your desire and get all the way there. Satisfaction comes in the moment that you begin moving in the direction of your desire. When you stop swimming upstream is when satisfaction begins to come. When you start swimming with the flow. And this is what we want to make so clear with every word that Esther can find to match the vibration that we're offering, is that because you've already put it into your vortex, and your vortex is spinning with the power of the universe, and law of attraction has already gathered the cooperative components, and everyone who is non-physical and adoring you and rooting for you is calling you toward what you're asking for. That's a really powerful stream that really is the path of least resistance. And when you let go of doubts and fears, when you let go of the thoughts that bring the doubts and the fears, then you have the satisfaction of moving in the direction of it. And so you're not going to get any encouragement from us to give up on something you want. The emotion is the indicator of the vibration. We don't want you to say it's doubt and fear that's holding you back. The feeling of doubt and the feeling of fear is the indicator of the thoughts that are holding you back. In other words, seeing it and feeling whole with it, and not feeling any sympathy or empathy about some plight, but instead being forward-looking toward the well-being that you're seeking. And so things are always working out for you. And the thing that hangs humans up is that you have a desire, you know what you want, but you don't know how or where it's going to come about. And so you let those factors that you don't know the answers to be too active in your vibration, which introduces the resistance into the situation. You know, you can accomplish more toward anything that you want by daydreaming than by getting real and setting goals. We want to demonstrate something we've been doing that people are appreciating it. So you're moving along in your vehicle. We were discussing an occupation with someone not long ago, and she used the word vehicle, the vehicle meaning her current way of earning money. She referred to it as a vehicle. So we took the literal meaning of a vehicle and put it into this analogy. So you're moving along in your vehicle, whatever it is, and it's getting the job done. But there are things missing in it that you would like, but it's getting the job done. And so you're feeling satisfaction, eager for more, but satisfied with what is. But after you live some life, and you're asking for more and asking for more and asking for more. Now, what you're asking for is way over here, but you're nowhere near that vibrationally. Not just you. We're talking about this is a theoretical offering. But you're asking, and because you're asking for it, because life is causing you to ask, even not with your words. When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. So you're asking. When you ask, it is always given, and your mother and all of us are in on it, and the law of attraction and the energies that create worlds are all in on it, and the cooperative components are being gathered. And so cooperative components are coming. So then another vehicle, all of a sudden, that you didn't realize was there before is right there. And you look over, So you just effortlessly and seamlessly and with great ease and no disruption to your life, you just move into that vehicle, which is just really nice. And you just move along in that vehicle, and then life produces another one. Better still. And then you just move along in that vehicle. And then life produces another one. And the more you are leaning toward what you want, the faster those come, and the brighter they are, and the sooner you recognize them, and the greater ease with which you move into them. And then we said to this woman, who was the reason that we created this analogy, and she felt great relief. She felt a great breakthrough when we said it to her. And we're giving it to you for the same reason. We said, you know what you've been doing? You've wanted to go from that vehicle to that one. And because you can't, that's the genesis of your doubt. That's the reason that you don't believe. But if you can do some segment intending, then after a while you begin to show yourself, you begin to demonstrate to yourself the universe's attention upon you, the worthiness of your being, and most of all, you begin to demonstrate your receptivity to that, because you're not asking for a receptivity that is too far away for you to find. Jerry always said, as he was coaching people in financial matters, put your basket out far enough that if you hit it, it's going to thrill you, but not so far that you don't think you can. Esther sat ready to come to play with you today and did her segment intending, wrote it out. We're going to have so much fun in there today. And we're going to have new discussions. And we're going to take old discussions. This is an old one. And we're going to talk about it in new ways. And people are going to feel the clarity of the new place. In other words, she just took great delight in her segment intending daydream about what was going to happen in here even before it happened. Not as a prediction and not as a creation, but because those thoughts felt so good to her, she wanted to think them. This is a new segment. What do I mean? I'm going to get in my vehicle, it's a new segment. Or I'm answering the telephone, it's a new segment. Or I'm placing a call, it's a new segment. Anytime anything changes from one moment to the next, it's a new segment. And the more of those that you can stop in a realization that it is a new segment that might ask from you more focused clarity about what you prefer from the segment, then the more efficient you are at segment intending. We've been talking about segment intending for a very long time, but today we're talking about segment intending with the umbrella important understanding of that's the way you get out ahead of things. And so we're saying you've been trying to get too far out ahead of things, further out ahead of them than you can believe. And so in the moment that you activate an end of a stick, when you pick up a stick, let's say the stick you've picked up is money. This is a good discussion. Let's say the stick you've picked up is the money stick. And on one end of it is abundance, and on the other end of it is lack of abundance. And you're somewhere on that stick. And the reason that you are where you are on that stick is because of the way life has touched you and the way you have responded to it. So you have vibrational patterns of thought, or what we call beliefs or expectation about money. So when you set a goal about money, so you activate the stick, you pick up the stick about money, you don't just go to the end where you want to be, you go to the place where you are. You've activated it where you are. It's where you last left it, you see. You can't be other than where you are. You can't all of a sudden say, I want to believe differently than I do. Life is blending from what you have lived to what you are living to what's coming next. We just want you to be aware of this blending. And if you will consciously acknowledge the blending and make a decisive determination, I am where I am. I'm going to look back less and I'm going to look forward more. And I'm going to do a better job for me of segment intending. I'm going to say more of the things that I want. So you get in your automobile. This is going to be a nice drive. This is going to be a comfortable transport from here to where I'm going. And I'm going to rendezvous with other drivers who are considerate. We're going to be cooperative components. You can segment intend. And as you become often a more consistent segment intender, in not very much time, you will begin to notice the difference in the way those segments feel to you. You will begin to realize that you're moving yourself on this vibrational stick closer and closer to what you want, so that then you will be privy to more and more information that your inner being knows. Your inner being knows what your path of least resistance is. Your inner being doesn't say, oh, you've got so much resistance. We wish you didn't have so much resistance. We're going to try to help you through your resistance. Your inner being doesn't even acknowledge that resistance is a negative issue, because your inner being knows that contrast is such a positive thing. Your inner being just knows that where you are and where you are wanting to be, that there are paths that are easier for you and paths that are more difficult for you, and your inner being is always calling you along the easiest path, the path of most allowance, or the path of least resistance. But humans, you're so busy wanting to prove worthiness or be right or defend where you are or justify what you've been doing, that you don't let yourself find the path of least resistance easily. Society as a whole will criticize you. Think about it. The majority of people that you know or that you bump up against or that you hear dialoguing through media and so forth, so many people talk smack about people who have money while every one of them wants more money. Talk about a contradiction in vibration. The very thing that they want, they are condemning all day, every day, because they are trying to justify where they stand in the absence of what they want by talking about it as if it is wrong. Well, that's not going to get anybody to where they want to be, you see? Creation is so simple that it makes you all annoyed, because conceptually it's simple, but in practice you've got some resistance to release. And so our message to you is some version of this. In any moment we're doing one of two things. We're either speaking to you in a way that helps you release resistance, in which case you'll move toward what you want more easily, or we're speaking about focusing upon what you want, in which case you'll move toward what you want more easily. And so sometimes, because of the way you feel, it's better to just try to release the resistance. And that's when we say, just go general. We get it that life has caused you to believe what you've been witnessing. We understand that what you're seeing around you physically and the statistics that you've gathered and the results that you've been living are why you believe what you believe. But we also know that that's a regurgitation of life. That's a reaction to life. That's not the deliberate creating that you came here to do. In that case, you and everyone else who's doing it, which includes almost everyone else, you are letting the resistance of your time and space inhibit you and prevent you from what you want. The very resistance that gave birth to your desires, you're now using against the desire. And we want you to put step 1, 2, 3 in their proper order. We want the contrast or resistance that you feel to be the reason that you ask for more, that gives birth to the new idea. And then source energy gets all over the new idea, focuses unequivocally on the new idea, and never for a moment does not believe that you can be or do or have whatever it is that your life has caused you to ask for. These are good times, and there is great love here for you. And for now, we remain eternally incomplete.